What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we're going to be doing the second episode of the Trading Every Player rebuilds today with the Brooklyn Nets. So I'm sure you guys all know how these work. Basically, before the season does start, I have to go ahead and I have to trade every single player on this current roster, and at no point in time throughout the remainder of this video can I have them back on this team whatsoever. So obviously the Nets have some talent. They have Kevin Durant, they have Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons. You can throw them in the mix if you want to. I should be getting some good trade offers for them. This is a relatively good team, albeit not off to the best start. I see they're 5-7 right now. So we're going to blow up this entire roster and obviously try to get the Nets championship. And finally, I asked you guys in yesterday's video, which way do you prefer it? Obviously, there's a multitude of ways I can go about these rebuilds. One, I can choose none of the trades by myself. I can choose one trade. I can choose two trades, three trades. I can choose them all. Whatever it may be. And I got a ton of comments, and I really appreciate you guys' feedback on that. And by far, the most liked comment was saying, go ahead, choose one trade by yourself, and then let the rest be random with your eyes closed. So I want to continue to see some of those comments on today's video. Today's video, I'm going to go ahead and choose one by myself and then let the CPU do the rest of the CPU, which is my eyes closed. But that is because that was the most liked comment. So we're going to finalize something eventually. I might put out a poll actually in my community tab. So we'll get to that probably next week. But that's how it's going to be today. And of course, you want to see your comments along with some other video ideas. And I definitely will be getting back into the historic rebuilds. I got some requests for those as well. But without further ado, man, we got to blow up this Nets roster to get them a championship. So before we get into some of these trades, there's a couple of housekeeping things that we need to go over. One being that Start Today is officially in 2K. I don't know why it took them so long, but they finally added Start Today. I'm not using it here because I think in these Trading Every Player rebuilds, not saying it kind of combats the almost aspect of trading the entire roster, but hypothetically with teams like this, like the Brooklyn Nets, who are off to a 5-7 start, which isn't exactly ideal, if I trade for a bunch of players that are either really good or really bad, it can kind of sway the way of the rebuild. So I will, of course, do it if you guys want to see it. So let me know down below. Would you prefer I use Start Today for some of these Trading Every Player rebuilds? Let me know down below in the comment section. If not, I can continue to start at the beginning of the season. I don't have a preference. Two being, big thank you to Aaron. He's one of my subscribers, and he let me know on Twitter that, where is it? Aaron let me know that, where is it? Right here, under Team Intel. If you go here, you actually can change it to rebuilding or everything like this. I had no idea, and it allows you to trade some of your top players. So I'm able to trade Kevin Durant now. I probably would have been able to trade Steph in Trade Finder if I did it the other day. Change the Team Intel. So that's how you trade apparently the star players. Big thank you, Aaron. I really appreciate it. Let's get into this video and finally get into some trades. So Kevin Durant, obviously here. We were only going to get one trade offer, it looks like, for him, which is a little bit unfortunate. So my options are kind of limited. I'm actually going to change some positions around. I wonder if his overall goes up. It goes up a little bit at small forward. Then I'm actually going to move Simmons to small forward because I know his overall will go up. Warren goes up there. Does Kyrie go up at point guard? He actually does. So I'm just doing this to kind of boost the trade value on these guys as much as possible. And I think we should be in a good spot. So now we get no trade offers for KD. I'm going to move him back to power forward, obviously. Yeah, I'm going to do that just strictly based off the fact that I have to get a trade for him. And I think this is definitely the best way to do it. So this does not count as... Okay, well, I don't know what changed, but I guess the Pelicans want to give me Zion and Brandon Ingram. I guess we're starting out hot today. I obviously didn't really choose that trade, so I'll choose one here, I guess, for Kyrie Irving. But that's insane that we just, went from Pascal Siakam and, Scotty Barnes, which wouldn't have been a horrible trade package, to Zion and Brandon Ingram, which is a little bit better in my opinion. Let's choose a trade for Kyrie Irving here. Obviously, some of these are better than others. I could also maybe go ahead and throw in I don't know. What happens if I put TJ Warren in this? Are there any better offers here? Who is this? Rob Williams and Brogdon from the Celtics could be cool. Ooh, I like Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Turner. That's a pretty good trade. Or I could go Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris. That's also a really good trade. I like Tyrese Maxey a lot, and I haven't gotten Tyrese Maxey in a minute. Let's go ahead and do this trade, and we get Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris from the 76ers. Now I'm not going to have any say in any of these trades, so we're going to put up Ben Simmons. Let's just see. We have 17 offers. My eyes are shut, as you can see, and we will stop here in 3, 2, and 1. We end up with Lowry Markkanen, Mike Conley from the Utah Jazz, who are off to a pretty hot start, if I do say so myself. All of these guys here, I think, are good. Yes, they are. We'll just start combining players now. We'll do Seth Curry, Nick Claxton combined. They both have 2 stars in trade value. We'll stop in 3, 2, 1. And we're going to go one to the right, actually. And it ends up being Brook Lopez, or it would have been Klay Thompson. That could have been a fun piece to have on this team. But we're going to take Brook Lopez. Welcome back to Brooklyn, I guess. Joe Harris, and we'll do Edmund Sumner now. Kind of just firing through these as fast as possible. And stop. We end up with THJ and Facundo Campazzo. Getting some pretty interesting players here. Cam Thomas, Duron Sharp, kind of two of our final and maybe bigger pieces that could have cracked the rotation. And Stopbrook's going to go one to the left this time. We end up with Terrence Davis, Chimsy Metu, or would have been Josh Green, Frank Ntilikina. It's not a bad move. I probably prefer that trade a little bit with the Sacramento Kings. So let's just keep scrolling here. I know Markieff Morris, not Monte. Yuta Watanabe. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. And we will stop. Frank Ntilikina and Theo Pinson. Not exactly the deal I had in mind, but it's the one we kind of got here today. We'll do Kessler Edwards and Theo Pinson, I guess, is kind of... I mean, David Duke Jr. is here as well. Theo Pinson's not going to play. I'll just do David. Okay. I guess David Duke Jr. is not going anywhere. And stop. Final trade, Wendy and Gabriel, Matt Ryan. Not too big of a deal. Okay, I believe that we should have everything in order right now at this point. I don't believe... Holy small forwards. Okay, well, yeah, that's definitely... We basically have one center, no shooting guards, and 78 small forwards. We're not allowed to make any other trades going into, the rest of the season, so it puts us in a pretty tough spot with the way this roster is constructed, but, let's see if we can figure something out here. This is a pretty interesting looking team right now. I went ahead and I moved around some positions. I think we got relatively the majority of the best players on this team into this rotation in some way, shape, or form. So I moved Tyrese Maxey to the starting shooting guard spot. I know he's 6'1", 6'2", whatever it may be, so he's a little undersized. He'll be moving back to point guard next season when I can actually make some trades. So Mike Conley's going to be our starting point guard, followed by Tyrese Maxey. It's an interesting backcourt. It's a little bit of a smaller backcourt, but I don't mind it. Brandon Ingram starting at the 3. We have Zion Williamson starting at the 4. I still cannot believe I got him, as I'm sure a lot of you know. Progresses very quickly, wins a whole lot of finals MVPs. I'm excited. And then Brook Lopez, officially back in Brooklyn, going to be our starting center. Bench unit, we have Lauri Markkanen, Tobias Harris, who I moved to the backup 4. Tim Hardaway Jr., I moved to the backup 2. Chimsy Metu moved to the backup center position. And then Frank Ntilikina is getting some minutes here as well, just because I do need a backup point guard. We have Terrence Davis here, who unfortunately didn't really crack the rotation. I don't know if I can move David Duke Jr. I mean, it said I couldn't trade him before. I'll see if it lets me trade him now. He's on a 2-way deal. That's, yeah, nothing. Can I sign him for the remainder of the season? Does that change anything? Yeah, I can do that. Okay, you know what? He's not supposed to be on the team anyways, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to release him. I just don't want him hopping into the rotation, playing any minutes, kind of jeopardizing the validity of this rebuild, if you will. So we're just going to release him. I don't really care too much. That is it for now, though. I will see you guys at the end of year 1. We definitely don't have a ton of draft picks either, do we? I just kind of realized that. I did not mean to do that, son of a bitch. Yeah, not a whole lot of draft picks, so that's something we're definitely going to have to work on this offseason. I'll see you guys at the end of year 1. We ended up going 40 and 42. We were basically mid as hell. I mean, that's just the only way I can describe it. We obviously have some work to do this offseason, and I will be jumping right into it, believe me. Luka, it's a 40, almost 41-point triple-double. Shocker. Paolo Banchero, Rookie of the Year, looks like the favorite right now, in my opinion. I don't know why James Harden's playing off the bench. Especially considering I traded, well, I guess I traded for Kyrie, but like find a way to get, or I traded them Kyrie, find a way to get James Harden in the starting lineup. It's ridiculous. Giannis wins Depoy. Kid Cunningham, most improved. Jason Kidd does go on to win Coach of the Year for the Dallas Mavericks. Let's get into the standings, excuse me. We do make the play-in as the 10th and final seed. So, yeah, maybe we'll sneak into the playoffs, but I have no idea. We will see what ends up happening. Let's look at the numbers. Zion Williamson leads us in scoring. Also averaged 10 rebounds, pretty insane. Brandon Ingram and Tyrese Maxey. That's kind of our big 3 moving forward, the guys that I'm definitely the most comfortable with. Toughish year from Mike Conley. I mean, I know he's not Mike Conley of, I guess like 2013, 14, 15, 16. I mean, whatever you want to call it. Hell, I mean, he was, he's actually not as good there. Okay. Well, we definitely need to find an upgrade at the point guard spot. Or should I say shooting guard spot, because Tyrese Maxey will definitely be getting moved back to the starting point guard position. We have Indiana in the first round. I'm not really sure how this team's in the playoffs. They don't really move me, I'm not going to lie. We end up winning that game, so now we're battling for the 8th seed here with the Toronto Raptors, who are a pretty good team in and of themselves, but again, I kind of like our squad. Let's sim it, and we end up losing, so we do not make the playoffs in year 1, which means we will have a lottery pick. I don't think we actually have our draft pick, though. I believe it's protected in some way, shape, or form. You got a Luka versus Embiid finals matchup, and let's just go ahead and sim this. And the Dallas Mavericks go on to win in 7, and Luka Doncic wins finals MVP. All right, we are officially into the first offseason right now, which is obviously good. We can officially make some trades. We can upgrade this team, which is definitely needed. Okay, maybe we do have our draft pick. It's sitting at number 13 right now, and we stay at number 13. Honestly, I'll take the 13th overall pick. I think that could help this team out a lot. Jacques Vaughn is not a good head coach, in my opinion. Mike Stauffer, on the other hand, is a very good head coach. Honestly, could I get Popovich even? If I max out Greg Popovich, would he want to come here? No, he does not. I'll just take Stauffer. We will now hit the NBA draft, where we do have number 13 overall, and maybe I'll make a trade. I don't know, though. I mean, I feel like I trade up a lot. I mean, if we obviously look at the top guards in this, it's like, I mean, Scoot Henderson's here, Nick Smith is here. Guys like that. I mean, Chris Livingston's here, Eamon Thompson, Auser Thompson. I mean, there's all these guys are here. Do I want to move up that much, though? I think I might just chill at 13. It's not really a spot I draft out a ton. We'll go ahead and see who's available here for us. Chris Livingston. No, Nick Smith's here. Nick Smith's my guy. I know he's projected to be like a top whatever pick right here. He's going to be my guy. We also have number 15 in round 2. I don't need it, but there's no trade offers, so we'll sim to it. Whoever has a cool name, we're going to go ahead and draft him. Let's see who's available for us here. Terrence Shannon Jr. Why do I feel like I've heard that name before? I feel like I've heard that name before, so I might go ahead and draft him. Let's just do that. I mean, I guess it's easy enough. Nick Smith to 77. Terrence Shannon Jr. 71. I mean, he's a roster spot. He's young, might as well. Tyrese Maxey definitely coming back, and cool. Qualifying, we have none. And then we enter free agency where... Oh, shit. Did Mike Conley retire? He definitely might have. I don't think he's on the roster anymore. Yeah, he probably retired if I had to guess, which... Kind of, yeah, it kind of sucks, but I mean, it was kind of expected. He's 35, 36 years old now. Would have been cool if we could have moved him for an asset, but, you know, I get it. We didn't really have a say in the matter. So I'm going to re-sign Brook Lopez. I might do a sign-in trade with Brook, strictly based off the fact that I think I could probably need an upgrade at center that's a little bit younger. It's not like he was bad for us. I just think I need to find somebody who's a little younger, can play longer. All right, we're going to let Frank Ntilikina go. I definitely do not need to bring him back. We're going to bring back Brook Lopez, Terrence Davis, and Chimzi Metu. I think that's a really good starting point for this offseason. Let's go ahead and make some trades. We're going to go ahead and try to get DeAndre Ayton here from the Phoenix Suns. He's an 85 overall, and he averages a double-double. I think he'd be a guy that's still obviously relatively young and can progress pretty well for us here in Brooklyn. No, I did not think that trade was going to go through. We're kind of limited in what we can offer just because we don't have a ton of assets, unfortunately, but I would be willing to give up 3 first-round picks because he's honestly the final piece we need in the starting lineup, and they do agree to that. So welcome to the team, DeAndre Ayton. Going to be our new center moving forward. I was going to go ahead and trade Brook Lopez in that trade, but he honestly just ended up making too much money. So now we're at a point where I probably still need to figure out some more trades. I'm thinking of maybe upgrading our backup point guard spot. I don't mind having Lauri Markkanen on this team. I think the thing is with him, he probably needs to get more minutes than he honestly could get here, so I might move him. Either for a backup point guard, I don't really know, maybe just some other draft picks, but I don't mind Terrence Davis being kind of the backup at the small forward spot. And obviously we have a guy in Brandon Ingram playing a lot of minutes. So I know Markkanen's great. He's having a career year right now, but I'm probably going to go ahead and try to find some sort of other backup for him, maybe on a multi-year deal. So honestly, maybe Mitchell Robinson. I say that just because he can be the new backup center, unless I find a really good point guard here that I would maybe honestly prefer. Or maybe I combine, if I do Lauri Markkanen, Brook Lopez, and I go ahead. I don't have any other draft picks left. If I combine these two, are there any? Ooh. Now, Paul George is going to regress. We all know that, but I think he'd be a serious upgrade in this starting lineup, and Nick Smith would just come off the bench and be the sixth man. You know what? I'm thinking I'm going to do that. Yes, I know Paul George does regress a lot, and it does suck, but I think adding into this team could definitely instantly turn us to championship contenders just like that. So I'm really excited about that trade. It solidifies the starting 5. We also got Ivica Zubac, who's been unbelievable this season. So Chimzi Metu, who I know we just re-signed, I might just move back down to the power forward spot. I mean, hell, that's where he started out. Let's move him back down there. He'll probably be the backup design. I think 10-man rotation still makes sense for me. Just for maybe one more year. Jordan Nwora is going to go ahead and get me a draft pick because I'm basically out of those. Then I'll sign a new backup point guard. And then we will be all set. I have one trade. What? Fine. Give me Vit Krejci. And then, oh my God. Wait, he's not on this team right now. No, he's not. I'll take a first from the Bulls. And then let me sign a backup point guard. All these guys are obviously on the older side. Give me Shake Milton. I don't think I ever really get Shake Milton. Welcome to the team, Shake Milton. We now have a 10-man rotation. I'll see you guys at the start of, year 2. So this team won 40 games last year. We made a whole lot of upgrades this year, and I think we should be in the mix of one of the top teams in the entirety of the NBA and one of the teams that should be one of the favorites to hopefully go on and win a championship. So here's how it's going to look. We have Tyrese Maxey moving back to the point guard spot. I like that fit a little bit better. We have Paul George, who we acquired, who, again, we all know is going to regress. And I know I could go in, change his end peak date, whatever it may be. I don't want to have to do that. And I feel like if I'm not going to do it in other videos, I'm not going to do it in my own when I actually have them. It doesn't make sense. It feels a little cheesy to me. So he's going to be our shooting guard for now. We have Brandon Ingram starting at the 3. We have Zion Williamson obviously progressing really well. DeAndre Ayton also progressing really well. He's up to an 88 overall. Unbelievably good starting 5. I think we've already basically made a God squad here. Bench unit's not too bad either. I'm giving Nick Smith the 6-man spot. I want him to progress as fast as possible. Hell, he might be starting next year depending on what happens with Paul George's regression. We have Ivica Zubac. We have Terrence Davis, Chimzi Metu, and Shake Milton. So kind of the bottom half of this bench is probably going to be one of the main things I focus on this offseason because the starting 5 is insane. But I think the bench is kind of the weak spot we got going right now. But I love this team a lot. Let's see what happens here at the end of year 2. We finally get a new MVP here in year 2. Typically, Luka goes back-to-back at least. Most of the time, it's a three-peat. But Ja Morant, MVP, congratulations. He's very, very deserving of that award. Victor Wembanyama wins Rookie of the Year, ends up in Utah. They take him number 1 overall, where, again, I know a lot of people probably thought the Jazz were going to be in the mix for that number 1 overall pick, but the Jazz are one of the best teams in the league right now. It makes no sense. I don't get it. Will Hardy for Coach of the Year. James Harden, 6th Man of the Year. Again, I don't know why this game does not find a way to get into the starting 5. Giannis, Evan Mobley, Jacques Vaughn wins Coach of the Year. I do not know what our record was. We ended up going 58-24. It looks like the Grizzlies hired Jacques Vaughn, which is an interesting move. But we're the 1 seed here in the East, tied for the best record in the league. Let's look at the numbers. Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, DeAndre Ayton, Nick Smith. I mean, overall-wise, this is a really insane team. And again, a whole lot better than how the Brooklyn Nets kind of started off when we kind of hopped into this rebuild. We have the Celtics here in the first round who, not really sure how this is a playing team. But the last time the Celtics and the Nets played, it did not go so well for the Brooklyn Nets. And what the fuck? Like, I get it that the Celtics are deep, but why the fuck are they a playing team? I don't get it. Like, that Celtics team they're not, that's not a play-in team. Timberwolves go on to win the finals. They could definitely use some changes to their roster right now. I think their bench needs to get a lot better in real life right now. And Ant does go on to win finals MVP. Like, I'm pissed about losing to the Celtics, but I'm not like, they're a really good team. Like, I get it. We've constructed a roster that's really good here, but like, I don't get it, man. Why are the Celtics in the play-in? Let's sim the lottery. We definitely don't have anything here. The Pelicans end up with the number 1 overall pick. Well, they have Kevin Durant. At least we took Zion from them, I guess. Mike Stauffer cannot get a better head coach. Let's hit the NBA draft, where we definitely don't have any picks, right? Yeah, we have a late second. I just don't need that, so we'll do that. Let's hit team player options right now. See what we got anything here. Paul George. Wow, Paul George declines a $40+ million, $48 million, I think it was, player option. Are you really getting that on the open market here? Not really. I'm going to give a qualifying here to Tyrese Maxey. It's the final year, and I definitely do not want to go over any sort of hard cap or anything. I'm going to pay Paul George and then possibly look to maybe move him. And I don't say that lightly, and I only say that because I know how his regression is going to hit. And hell, we just lost in the first round. I'm not saying he was the problem, obviously. I just don't know if his regression is going to hurt me too bad. So we're going to move him to small forward where he goes up to an 87. I'm going to look for a trade. I make no promises if I'm going to move him, but I don't want to see him continue to regress. So let's see what we can find. So I'm trying to acquire Zach LaVine here from the Chicago Bulls. He's obviously a little bit younger than Paul George. He's probably not going to regress, and he would probably be an upgrade in my opinion. I don't even know if it's going to be possible. It looks like, okay, there it goes. So we end up adding Zach LaVine to this team. He's going to be our new starting shooting guard. I think I'm going to transition to a 9-man rotation where Zion just doesn't have a backup. I think that probably makes the most sense right now. Ooh, let me sign Peyton Pritchard. Welcome to the team. He's going to be the new backup here for Tyrese Maxey. And ultimately, it's going to be a 9-man rotation where I'm hoping we have a lot better end result. I will see you guys at the start of year 3. Here's how it's going to shake out for the final season in Brooklyn. We made a trade. We unfortunately had to get rid of Paul George. I like PG a lot. Unfortunately, 2K does not agree with my sentiment. Here is how the starting 5, along with the rest of the rotation, will be. It's Tyrese Maxey, Zach LaVine, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, DeAndre Ayton. Only obviously one change in the starting 5. That being the addition of Zach LaVine to the starting shooting guard spot. Bench unit, Nick Smith, Ivica Zubac, Terrence Davis, and Peyton Pritchard. Unfortunately, I couldn't focus as much really on the bench because I did have to find that upgrade at the starting shooting guard spot and kind of traded all away our assets in order to do that. But I'm very excited to have Zach LaVine here coming off a year of averaging 27 points. He will definitely help this team out. We lost in the first round last year, and we're hoping for a championship. Obviously, we were a 1 seed, but it doesn't really matter come playoff time. I will see you guys at the end of year 3. Well, it looks like they buffed Ja Morant a little bit in this game. He's now up to 39 points and a second straight MVP. Maybe there's a new god in town. He's going to be taking over in the MVP awards. More importantly, we went 66-16. Again, it doesn't really matter unless we're winning, so I want to go out and win a championship. Xavier Booker, Rookie of the Year. Ended up going number 2 overall to the San Antonio Spurs. Markelle Fultz, Bam Adebayo, Dariq Whitehead, Mike Stauffer, 66-16. Of course, we have championship expectations. We were only 2 games out of the Cavs, who are an annoying team to play. Easiest way I can describe it. Zion, Zach LaVine, Brandon Ingram, Tyrese Maxey, DeAndre Ayton, obviously our big 5 right there, if you will. Nick Smith, Terrence Davis, Zubac, and Peyton Pritchard. We look at the rebounds. It was DeAndre Ayton, and assists was Tyrese Maxey. All right, who we got round 1? Don't be the Celtics. It's the Sixers. Oh, great. So they still have Harden coming off the bench. I'm not sure why that is, but it's the way they want to do it, and hopefully we can just get by them with ease because this is a good team. We sweep them. Thank the heavens. A lot easier than round 1 last year. Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Brandon Miller, Marvin Bagley, Tingus Pingus. Okay. The Detroit Pistons have made some upgrades, and they are here. We are definitely still a better team, but my God almighty, sweep them as well. And now here comes a real challenge, because obviously I'm sure a lot of you know the Cavs are pretty much a god squad in this game, because everybody progresses super well. Obviously a whole lot of young talent. I'm not saying it's unrealistic. This Cavs team is unbelievable right now. They beat my Celtics twice. It hurts. It hurts a lot. We haven't lost a game in the playoff. What the hell? Oh boy. Battle of number 1 overall pick from 2019. Battle of number 2 overall pick from 2019 here in the NBA Finals. We'll take a look at the rest of the team that got surrounding Ja Morant. They had a DeMontis Sabonis. Not a bad fit when you have a guy like Triple J who can play a lot of defense there. Had a Denny of D-Ha. I think we're just a much better team at this point in time. I was going to say, are we going to go through the playoffs not losing a game? That would have been fun. Nonetheless, we do get a championship, and Zion Williamson does go on to win Finals MVP. So, Brooklyn Nets fans, how you feeling right now about this team? I would say you're probably pretty happy. I'm happy with it, and I think this end result was obviously really good. And we put together a team that, is a whole lot better than I thought it was going to be. Hell, we turned Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Brickleberry Simmons into this, so I'm pretty happy with it. Of course, let me know in the comments section what teams you also want me to do next in terms of trading every player rebuilds. Again, I'll be doing some historic rebuilds next week as well, and then some challenges along the way as well. We're not just going to do 30 straight trading every player rebuilds, but this is definitely one of my favorite series to do, so I know you guys definitely like it as well. Other than that, that wraps this one up. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.